Hello, my name is Isabel Castellanos, and I'm going to talk about the three biggest challenges humanity is facing right now. So, first of all, I think and I believe that humanity has this is not the first time in the like history of humans that there have been like many concerns, especially for example last century there was like two world wars, nuclear weapons, so many differences in ideologies, and like really complicated issues that are still not only valid right now, but also the world didn't end then, it won't end now. But still, right now things are, I think, very a little bit more complicated than usual, or I don't know. So there are like I think three big, really big issues that we have to like take care, and are first of all, of course, the exploitation of natural resources. Second of all, the bombarding of imagery we are consistently like seeing all the time in social networks, Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp. On we even are constantly taking images and registering and sharing all these like things. And the third, and I think like the one that it's causing both big issues is the overpopulation. So, on the first hand, the exploitation of natural resources is, of course, like this huge problem we have right now. And I think I'm going to talk about the first two issues on like the light of the other of the last one of the overpopulation, because well, it is causing both. So, or it's one of the main causes of both. So, on the first hand, the exploitation of natural resources and like the damage of the ecosystem in general, it's really bad, and it's really complicated to solve this issue because, well, first of all, they are they may be like mouths to feed and people who need well, to survive, basically to live. But there's also like this unconsciousness of the government to resolve these issues. So but what do I think is the biggest problem is that of course you cannot ask a country that it may have it may have a lot of resources like Colombia, just to solve the issue on the ecosystem when there is violence, when there are a lot of people literally just dying of hunger. And well, there is like this huge thing on fossil fuels and carbon and minerals, and it's really complicated, and narco traffic, it's not easy to just go there and say like, hey, let's save the world, when these countries like Colombia, and there's not only this, and there are many countries that have bigger, like let's say bigger issues than just the saving the ecosystem, because our economic, like the economy is really unstable and it's really complicated, and we depend on basic the economy. When the economy of a country depends basically on destroying the country's like ecosystem, it's like actually pretty damaged the system that creates both. So it wouldn't be easy just to solve this, especially when there's a lot of people. The second issue, that it's really affects the first one, it's the like this bombarding of imagery. We are constantly watching and seeing and consuming images and making images and reproducing images, and also like just sharing images, that is causing, I believe, like this big distance between like a lack of empathy, because when you're constantly watching people die, the world is ending, and all this stuff, well, what, like, suddenly people cannot deal with the guilt or the responsibility, and we just kind of ignore that people are still like in wars, and the fishes in the oceans are dying, and the Amazon is burning, and well, there are many problems that we are constantly receiving images of. And suddenly I think humanity has just believed like, I'm not gonna deal with it, because literally I cannot deal with it, and there is no like step by step to deal with these issues. We just have to get creative and try to solve them, which is really difficult when there are like more than 8 billion people in the world, and nobody knows what to do with this issue, not even politicians. Like, I just believe that things are so complicated because there are so many people in this world, which is causing the exploitation of natural resources and also the bombarding on images, because that's the way, like, what caused this, I don't know, proliferation of people being born is the same thing that makes us believe that natural resources should be exploited, and that and the world of images like is basically what we do. So yeah, I don't know how to, like, I wouldn't say how to solve these problems. um I don't know how, and I don't think I can solve them, but I believe that things are pretty bad right now, and maybe people are starting to see a way the world can change and be a little bit more comfortable for many.